Hi there, I'm Darcy Clark. Welcome to the Finding Your Balance practice series. And in video 3 today, we're going to find our balance. We're going to practice some balance poses and movements. So we're going to stand still in balance. We're going to try to move and find balance at the same time. So again, these things are done standing, but feel free to have a chair or a railing or stand beside a countertop or a table or a desk so you hold on to something if you need to. If you need that extra support, feel free to have it close by. Okay, so let's bring the hands to the hips, or you can hold on to something in front of you. And let's shift now. Let's just find our right foot. Just feel the right foot. Feel its connection with the ground. And as you bring more weight into your right foot, can you lift your left heel? And just notice as you've done that, has your right hip sort of shifted out to the right. And you might need to sort of find a little more engagement in that glute muscle by actually squeezing it a little bit, pulling that right hip in towards the center if you have the tendency to shift the hips off center when you bring more weight into that leg. Okay, so see if you can feel and notice just having brought more weight into your right foot, if the weight has shifted around in that foot. Rolled in, rolled out, more weight to the heel, more weight to the toes. And then see if you can lift your toes off the floor. And the foot doesn't have to be high off the ground. You can feel free to just keep it off the floor for as much as you can and then just tap the foot back to the ground. So this is a nice way to just practice your balance where the foot is rather close to the floor. And if you can, bring the knee off the ground even a little higher. Bring that foot off the ground higher, lifting your knee in front of you. Feel free to come here. And see if you can, if you'd like, you can also take your arms wide apart to help sort of increase your center of gravity here. And just notice how your ankle might wobble in and out, how the weight might shift around on your foot. And see if you're able to find that center again. Find that center of gravity through the triangle of support into that right foot. Good, and then rest back to the floor. Shake it out a little bit in that right leg. You might notice some muscles start to wake up. Okay, and then let's find once again balanced weight through both feet, through your mountain pose, your Tadasana, feeling and finding the center of gravity again. And feel free to bring your hands to your hips or hold on to something in front of you. And as you shift your weight into your left foot, lift your right heel. Just notice how that feels. Notice how the weight may have shifted around already in that left foot. Notice whether your left hip has sort of dipped out to the side. So see if you can hug that left hip back in, keeping your pelvis relatively balanced. And you might need to just do a little extra squeeze of the glute muscles, clenching gently into the glutes to keep that hip from sticking out. Okay, that's it. All right, and then if you can, see if you can raise your toes off the floor. And again, the toes can stay close to the floor, letting yourself tap and lift as you find your balance, as you find your steadiness. And then feel free, if you can, raise the knee up a little higher, lifting the foot, lifting the knee maybe to hip height, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Take the arms out wide if you like for a little steadiness in your balance here. And just feel where the weight shifts in your foot, how the ankle rolls in and rolls out as it responds to any sort of movement within the balance, just finding the muscles engaging up through the leg, staying with your breath. Good, and then release it. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to step forward and step back. So just one step forward and one step back so that we can feel the weight still remaining mostly in the one leg. The one leg is our stabilizer where we're bringing most of the weight, and the other leg acts as our mover. Okay, so resting your weight, shifting your weight into your right foot, step your left foot forward. Feel the heel land, feel the toes land. You might even just lift your back heel for a moment and then send more weight back into that right foot as you step back with the left, maybe lifting your toes on the right foot. So stepping forward and stepping back without ever fully lifting your right foot off the floor. And just feeling how this feels. Noticing the movement in your toes as you roll the weight towards the toes whenever you lift your heel. Get a nice bend through those toe joints. And then you can try it on the other foot. So you lead with the other foot, starting with your left foot staying here now and stepping your right foot forward and then stepping your right foot back. So again, feel how the weight, most of the weight is in your left foot when you step forward and when you step back. And notice as you step forward and as you step back, when you shift all that weight into your standing leg, the one that's bringing you that stability, does your pelvis shift out of center? And that often means that the weight has shifted off center in your foot. So can you notice the weight remaining out, spreading from the heel to the pads of the feet on either side? Okay, and then come back. And this time we're going to do a little bit of movement with a little more steps. So we're going to walk 3 steps forward and then we'll walk 3 steps back. Okay, so again, let's start out by finding the support more into the right foot again. So we can step forward with the left, 1, step forward with the right, 2, step forward with the left, 3, and then bring all the weight into that left leg and see if you can lift the toes of your back foot and maybe even bend the knee and hug the heel towards the buttock. And then step back with that right foot. We're going to walk back 3 steps, step back with the left foot, step back with the right foot. So now bring more of your weight into your right foot as you lift your left foot. Now it's the same thing that we just did, so feel free to just lift the heel or lift the toes a little or lift the knee a lot, okay? So you take it to where you can be. And then we'll step forward again with the left, step forward again with the right, step forward with the left, staying here on the left foot. Bend your right knee, try to bring the toes off the floor, maybe hug the heel in closer to the buttock, and then step back again. 1, 2, 3, lifting your left foot. So keep this going, go at your own pace. You don't have to be in sync with me. And just when you're walking forward or back, see if you can feel where the weight shifts into your feet. Does the weight want to shift out into the outer arches of your feet? Does the weight want to shift in towards the big toe sides of your feet? And can you walk where you're able to feel the support through each of those 3 points into your feet? So you might have to walk a little slower to find and feel those things. And this time, the next time you step forward, let's hug that right heel in towards the buttock, or just keep the toes lightly lifted off the floor, tapping the foot to the mat or to the ground as you need to. And you can take your arms out, helping with balance if you like, or hold on to something in front of you. See if you can hug the heel a little closer to the buttock if you're able to bend the knee, and maybe the arms can lift. We can find a bit of a dancer pose variation with the hands together. We can try to bend the elbows so So this is quite a bit of extension in the upper back and a lot of movement and mobility in the shoulders. So if that isn't happening for you today, just let your arms be where they can be. Hands together, hands on the hips, hands on your support, or arms wide still. That's it. And then we'll step back with the right, step back with the left, step back with the right, and we'll find balance now on the right foot. As we lift, again, that left heel or toes or knee, we're gonna take the knee out to the side. So even if you're on your toes, you can still keep them there and turn your knee, out a little bit. So the heel comes onto the inner ankle of your foot. You can keep your toes down for this balance pose, tree pose. If you're able to bring the foot onto the inner leg, either below or above the knee, go for that. Bring your hands together in front of your heart or over your head or arms wide, or just keep hold of that support in front of you. Nice. And then step it out and just release any tension through the legs. It's sometimes helpful to just give the legs a little shake. One leg and then the other. And even a little release for the shoulders. And so we'll do that again, but this time leading with the other foot. So we're going to lead with the right foot. So whenever you're ready, step forward with your right, step forward with your left foot, step forward with your right foot. We're going to stay on that right foot and we're going to try to lift the toes of the left foot, maybe to the point of bending the knee and hugging the heel towards the glute. And then stepping back with that left foot, stepping back with the right foot, stepping back with the left foot. So now we're going to send more weight onto the left foot as we lift the right foot as high as you comfortably can while finding your balance. Stepping forward with the right, stepping forward with the left. And just keep it going at your own pace. Bending the left knee if you can, lifting those toes off the floor. And as you're stepping forward and back, especially when you go backwards, see if you can continue to feel the weight here, resting first into your toes, wide across the pads of your feet, back into your heels. And notice whether your feet want to turn out. Can you keep your toes, mainly facing forward? I just added another step to it. That's it. You might notice when you go backwards that your toes turn out a lot. So just notice that. Notice those sensations. Notice where the weight plants in your feet. So let's come back to dancer pose, this time on the right foot. So we're landing on that right foot as we hug the left heel in, or simply let the toes lift slightly off the floor. And the idea is to try to keep that left knee pointing straight down. So down from your hip. Rather than the knee pointing forward, you want to see if your knee can be under your hip as you're lifting your toes and possibly bending that knee. Okay? And feel free to have the arms out wider, have the arms lifting up, or even bring the hands together and bend the elbows. Feel your elbows lifting with your head as your left knee is still moving down with your tailbone. Good, and then rest back, left foot to the floor, step back, right foot to the floor. You can see that I have my hands on my hips as I move, just to feel and sense that feedback of how my pelvis moves as I walk. Trying to keep the pelvis level as I lift my other foot, my right foot. And so here, keeping the foot on the floor or off the ground, we're going to try to turn that knee to point out to the side. If your toes want to stay down on the floor, bring your heel to the inner ankle. You're narrowing your center of gravity here, so there's still balance work, even with the toes down. If you like, you can lift the foot, pressing the foot, the sole of the foot onto that inner leg. I've got mine just below my knee. And then I can also sort of press my leg into the foot so they meet and they hug together in the center. And I can do the same with the hands in front of the heart. Take a little width, opening the arms, maybe lifting them as the neck stays long. Notice where the weight might want to shift around on your feet. And again, can you find and keep that even, equal support through those 3 points of connection? Nice. And then standing back. And again, give the legs a little shake. Find the breath again. Balancing can be a lot of work for the body. You might feel it in a different spot on this leg. Each leg is very different. You might have noticed that one leg balances a lot more easily than the other. One leg or one foot takes your body's weight more comfortably, more easily. So there you go, a few exercises that you can practice as often as possible throughout your day to help improve your balance over time. Join me for video 4, where we find our balance in more fun ways. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next time.